Be sure to cook. Welcome back to another episode of Be Sure to Cook. Today, we're going to be cooking up some instant yeast rolls. So we're going to be baking some instant yeast rolls. I want you to stay tuned and I want you to enjoy this video. Okay, today, I'm going to be using 2 cups of all-purpose flour, or you can use bread flour. And I'm sifting this. I'm sifting it because I want my rolls to be light, airy, and fluffy. Doesn't mean they're gonna come out like that, but I think they are if I sift them. Because if flour stays clumped up too long, I got a big bag. I mean a huge cooking bag. I do a lot of cooking. Here's another cup. So I said I'm gonna be using 2.5 cups of flour, and I'm sifting it. Okay, I'm going to be using a 1/2 tablespoon of kosher salt, or you can use whatever salt you want, but I'm using kosher, and I'm just going to kind of like stir that salt, get it evenly into my dry mixture. And this has been sifted, and I added the kosher salt. Okay, I set out a couple different things to go over with you all. There are 2 different types of yeast that you can use. I prefer the active dry yeast that I've always grown up with this one. It's the original active dry yeast, which they're both active and dry. But one is called, instant yeast, and the other one's just the normal yeast. I always use the normal yeast when I bake rolls and stuff like that. But let me tell you about the original yeast instead of the instant yeast. The original yeast, when you use that, you do the same thing. You have to get your water or your milk to about 100, 110, no matter that. You can't get it too hot. Keep it warm. Then you apply it into your mixture. Then you mix it and roll it. Then you put oil on it, on your whatever you're making, and you set it and you let it rise for about 30-40 minutes, but it has to rise. You beat it down and you repeat that again, and it rises. The second rise, then you start to cut out your biscuits or whatever you're cooking, and then you put it in the oven. But the thing about this instant yeast, which I thought it was so neat when I seen it, which I should have known, but I was so busy using the old ones. I picked this one up accident, and I got home. I said, this looks kind of different than the one I had. I thought maybe they had changed. And I happened to look down here at the bottom, and I seen instant yeast. I said, instant yeast? So when I got to looking it up, see how well, this is so cool because you can do this just like this. You put it in the warm water like it tells you, and the instructions are on the back how you do it. And you put this in, and it foams up right away. You pour this in your mix. Guess what? It's only one rise. You can actually cut it out right then and there, put it in the oven and cook it, and it rises just like, a cake. I said, oh my God, I've been going all totally wrong, which I do like the original because I'm just used to doing original. I feel like I'm doing more, which I like, but it cuts my time half the time. So you can use any one you want. It doesn't make a difference. So if you ever be like me and you're used to doing the old-fashioned way, and then you go in and you find this instant yeast and you're like, wait a minute, why is it not rising the second time or whatever? This will be the easiest, quicker way. If you just like going through the extra stuff like I do, you can just use the regular. So there's 2 different kinds. One is an instant and one is regular old original yeast. So any one you want, instant or regular old yeast. I like a little sweetness in my rolls. So I'm using 1 whole tablespoon of granulated sugar inside my dry mixer, and I'm gonna mix that around. I'm gonna use another whole tablespoon, and I'm gonna put it in a bowl that I'm gonna melt all my other stuff in. And that's about all I'm gonna do about that. Okay, I'm gonna use 2 jumbo because large are not large anymore. If you use jumbo, you get large. Okay, I got 2. Check this out. when I crack the eggs to make sure they look good, I got twins on 2 different eggs. These are stuck together. Look, twins on both eggs. Wow, I hope that don't mean nothing. I'm just gonna beat these eggs up. And this is like large, you know, 2 large, well, they jumbos, but today jumbos are the original large. The original large are supposed to be, they're the smalls. I don't know what happened to the mediums. So I'm just gonna beat this up. I need this. Okay, inside this I have my teaspoon of sugar that I'm putting in there. I'm going to add 1.5 cups of milk to this. Okay. And I'm gonna get a spoon and I'm gonna beat that up. I'm just stirring up the sugar up in here. I want it to dissolve. You know, I'm getting this and I'm making this. You might not need all of this here, this sugar and milk, because I'm thinking I'm making a larger one. And I only supposed to use half of this because I'm not making a whole bunch. I think this is for the 4 cups of flour. You're making a lot. But I'm just showing you how to make a smaller one. So, okay, I'm going to add in the package of yeast. And I'm going to stir this. And it has to be lukewarm. So, I'm just going to stir this yeast in. Get this in here. I hope this activates. It is warm. Make sure I get it. I didn't know it's stuck. Look at that. It's hiding in there. So. Okay, I'm adding in the eggs inside the bowl. Then I'm adding in 6 tablespoons of melted butter. And this is unsalted melted butter. Okay, I'm greedy, so I'm gonna have to get out those eggs in the butter. And I'm gonna pour all this into my mix. Okay, I just got all the eggs and the rest of the butter remaining. And I'm gonna stir this again, and I can see that is rising. I've got my mixture of my flour bowl here. It has the little sugar and the salt. Then I'm just going to start pouring all of this in here because this is the yeast and the eggs, and some of the yeast is still down in here. And I wanted to stir that good. These new measuring cups that you use are so weird because it's got edges or something on the bottom. That's the only thing I don't like about that, because it leaves extra stuff, and you can see the way that's built. I do not like the way that's built. And I'm so happy I had to get that because I broke my old one, or I just got so old. And I'm just going to stir and mix this up. I sprayed my glass pan and my spoon with nonstick spray. I'm gonna get a little of this. I'm doing it a different way. I'm going to take these and I'm going to do it like this. Something different. All that rolling, all that flour. You know, sometimes I just don't feel like doing all that. So I'm just gonna take a spoon. You can smell all that yeast. Look at that. And I'm just gonna take a spoon and cut it. And I'm gonna make these just the way I am. You know, just rolls like me. Just, they're all over the place. That's what I call them, you know, do a spoon. I did non-stick spray. So, sorry guys, my little grandbaby's here. And he is making a storm. He is hauling up a storm, and he is a little storm. So sorry about that if you all heard anything, because he just started screaming out. So they're taking care of that, and I hope you all don't hear nothing else no more. Sorry about that. Someone told me that, hey, I heard your grandbaby. It was so embarrassing. So Sorry about that noise. So what I did is I spoon these, and they don't look bad. They're gonna fall into place. We're gonna put these in a 350-degree oven, and we're gonna get them out and find out how they came out. Okay guys, this is what I call my finger rolls. When you don't have time to cut out and do all that, that's the perfect time to do it. Just take a spoon and drop them in. And this is the way I work. Now I just take a little bit of butter when they come out of the oven. These are very dense rolls. I like dense rolls. Love them. You know, I've been making rolls for years. I first started off making them a long time ago when I used to work in this kitchen. I love cooking. I always did, and everything that I did have surrounded by cooking. I loved it. I'm just taking the back of my spoon, taking a little margarine, and I'm just rolling it on the, when it's hot, you just want to roll it on here. Now, you know, I can make this a little fancy, you know, rolling them, you know, making them look a little bit better and cutting them out, doing all that. But they're going to be eatable, and, you know, people just throw them in their hands. I say, get a roll and go. And this is just one of those quick, you know, drop them, bake them, butter, get a roll and go is what I call it. So, nothing fancy. They still come out and they cook up just as well. I'm going to let these cool down. We'll break into one of these babies and we'll see how they, oops, see, look at that. I accidentally picked that roll off, but you can look at that inside of there. Look at that inside. See that? Bready. Oh, good, soft and good. These, look, and I'm going to show you. Look at the spoon here. I'm just going to bounce down on them. Dense. Oh, these are like those good rolls. You know, one of those rolls you go, oh my God, that's not enough sugar. Next time, just put a little bit more. It depends on how sweet you want yours. I don't like my rolls sweet. I like a little sugar, but I like them dense and delicious. So let's let these cool down. Let that butter melt in there and make that pretty. And we'll come back and we'll cut open one and we'll see how it is. Okay guys, we're back. These have cooled down a little bit. They're still a little warm on the bottom. I'm going to break these apart like so. Look at that. Oh, they're still hot. I can see the steam coming out. They're hot. Well, we're just gonna get one. And it looks, you know, you can just do it any kind of way. They're rolls. If you want them to look fancy, then, you know, you might want to spoon them where they really look really nice. Or you can put more flour in there and handle it with your hands, cut them out like always. But I say they're gonna get eaten. But here it is. Let me put these over here on the side. Hold on. All right, guys, these are it. These are my rolls. They've been baking. They've been cooling. I've been done a lot. These are what I call my quick, easy spoon rolls. I just spoon it, threw it in a buttered pan, and I baked them for about 20-25 minutes. I already had my oven prepared for 350, and I just let them cook and rise in there. It's one rise. This is the first time I ever used that, but it's only one rise. Hey guys, I hope you enjoy my show. I want you to come back. Please share, like, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Once again, we made this, you and me. We made this together. Fresh rolls. Come back so we can make another dish. I love you all, guys. Bye.